My price, as the name suggests, it's going to pull in the price related to your product on your listing. To get started, make sure that the extension is installed. It's been activated with your subscription ID. And if it doesn't save for whatever reason, make sure you do it in incognito mode to bypass Google's cache. Secondly, verify that you've added your Gorilla nickname into your account in your Gorilla account. This is not your Amazon store name. This is just something that is used as an identifier inside your formulas. My one in this case is going to be called Test Seller 2, and so I'm going to be using Test Seller 2 in my formulas, and that's what I'll be referring to. I've already got a list of ASINs loaded for in column A from this Test Seller 2 account. So to get it started, let's do Gorilla underscore my price. Click on my price, and now it opens up with all of the descriptors, the different filters that we have. And if you scroll down the info box, you'll be able to get all of the information for what each attribute means and how it's used. So the first highlighted one is seller ID. My seller ID again is test seller 2. It's in cell A1. So I'm going to click on this so that it references cell A1. I could have inside quotation mark done test seller 2 manually like this, and it's going to result in the same thing, but it's not going to be dynamic. So later on, if I have another seller account that I want to add to my account and I want to switch it, then I have to go into all of my formulas and change everything. Whereas if I just select A1, later on, I could just change the name of this test seller 2 to say something like test seller XYZ, right? And then that's going to switch everything over to that new account. Press comma or semicolon if you're in Europe or a Spanish speaking country, and that will move the attributes to the next one. So now it's telling me to enter a SKU. For this particular function, there's only two required inputs, and that is your seller nickname and your SKU or your ASIN. We use those interchangeably. Rather than just selecting one SKU, I'm going to select a range from A2 down to A16. This will do everything in bulk and in one go instead of if you were to just select A2 and then you just drag it like 1,000 times. You don't want to do that because that's going to waste your credits or your quota that Google gives you on a daily basis. So it's from A2 to A16. It's going to do that entire range of where I have my ASINs. I'm just going to keep it simple in this first one to show you. And now it's going to pull in the default values, which is related to the new condition and related to what I'm currently selling it for. So that's where you see these results. If you want to filter down even further and get granular, you can select your marketplace. So let's say your default marketplace is the US, but you want to pull in Canada, then you can do this. And now it's going to go through and pull in all of your prices related to Canada. I'll switch it back. So I'm going to actually just keep it empty because I'm going to default it to US. And so you can see how I've left it blank or a space there. It understands that it's moved on to the next one. And the condition is going to be new, used, refurbished, collectible, etc. and so on. So you can see the different types of conditions that you can get your prices for. Okay, comma moves now to subcondition. So inside a condition, so if you selected used, you could have good, bad, acceptable, etc. And so this isn't used often, so you can just skip it, which is what I'll do. Comma, and the price type. So this is where you can also now select a different type of price from whatever you have it on your listing. So by default, it's going to be landed price or listing price, but you can choose your landed price, your shipping price, or regular price. And that's going to match up with what you have in Seller Central. Okay, comma. The last one, fulfillment, is going to allow you to choose between whether you want your prices for an FBM or an FBA. Okay, so if you only want the prices related to FBA, then you could type in FBA. The default is going to be FBA, but if you are heavily doing FBM, then maybe you want to just keep it selected as FBM, and then it's going to show up. So if I do that, I don't know if there's anything. Okay, there's some values there. And you'll see that this is 26.49 on the FBM side. And if I change this to FBA, I wonder if anything would change. Yep, you'll see that the FBA price is actually higher than the FBM price. And so this way you can actually filter down and get the different types of prices that you're looking for.